okay, this is going to be like the fourth or fifth. I've run out of times I've tried to upload this, but okay, I'm going to give it a shot. I have an idea. I'm just throwing it out. I had an epiphany of sorts. I was having a conversation with my wife, and amongst other her many talents, she's also a translator. You know, and she's one of those people that can translate, you know, manuals and stuff from one language to English or English to another language. Anyway, it was an interesting thing. We noticed that what they pay for a translation per hour has not changed in 10 years. So I was thinking aloud, and I said, you know, this is a very interesting thing. I think that the collapse is not going to happen with the banks and so forth. I think it's going to happen with people. Because let's look at this logically. I'm just throwing this out. There's no backup of information or anything. But I just want to share this because I want some, you know, feedback. I just want to have a conversation about this. Okay, so we have the largest situation in history where not since 1946 or 1947 has so many people are paying off their revolving debt, their credit cards. So people have paid off their credit cards. Now let's say that, for the sake of argument, that at this rate, by midsummer, everybody pays off their credit cards. Now don't forget, inflation has increased. Um, Incomes have been either stagnant or slightly down based on inflation. So what have people been doing for the last 15 years or so? They've been bridging the gap of your income with credit cards. So now the credit card's gone. So now they're left with their income. So now, stick with me here, guys. So now I'm thinking, okay, so people look at their income and they go, wait a minute. I've got 2 kids, wife, I have a house that's underwater, and I'm going to a job, and then by the time I pay for the gas and the tolls or whatever, and get home and my take-home pay and taxes and everything, I don't have enough money to feed my family or pay electric bill. Let's ignore the mortgage, right? So then what's the logical thing to do? Well, now you realize that there's a huge income gap between what you're making and what you need to survive. So what's the first thing you would do? Logic would tell me that you'd go to your boss and say, hey boss, you know, I make this amount of money and these are my expenses. You know, I'm living close to the ground. I don't have a credit card or anything. And I need you to raise my income to the level in which I can live, which will be X, whatever X is. So we're in the middle of a Great Recession, Depression, whatever, and the employer says, I can't do that. You know, our income is not, our cash flow is not up and whatever. I can't pay you more. So then the logic here is, so what's the motivation to go to work? You know, why don't I just stay home, save my gas in my car, grow vegetables in my backyard, and whatever, and just I don't know, start painting or learning how to crochet or making my own clothes. I think that that's possibly what may happen, because really, look, now you have all these people becoming very frugal, and they're going to realize real quick, I paid off my credit cards. Wait a minute, um, uh, I have been living as if I was making double the amount of what I was making, and that's not true because I've been living the other 50% was this credit card. So my thought here is that I think what's going to finally put the nail in the coffin, and it's just a theory, is that people will just say, well, what's the point of working? If it's not even worth it. I might as well just grow vegetables on the money I've saved or whatever, and that's it. So I just want to throw that out. It's an idea. I think that that's what's going to happen. I mean, I don't think it's absolutely going to happen, but it's a viable possibility. Possibility. So I'm throwing it out. Let's see if it goes up. If it doesn't, you never heard this conversation.